All right, welcome back to this video segment on the North and South nodes. In this video, we are going to talk about if you have your North node in the 11th house or Aquarius and your South node in the 5th house or Leo. So this, in my opinion, is the most important part of the chart. I was just looking at this stuff in readings, but I felt like this was far too important not to share in a video. So hopefully you all do find this to be helpful for you. Now, down in the comment section, there is a birth chart calculator if you don't know the specific house and sign of your nodes. So do check that out. The North node is the N-looking horseshoe in the chart, and the South node is the U-looking horseshoe in the chart. And I do recommend watching this primarily for your house. You will find that to be the most personal interpretation. So once you've identified those, hopefully you are watching this now if you have your North node in that 11th or Aquarius, and that South node in the 5th or Leo. All right, so why is this stuff so important? The North and South nodes are essentially showing the life path and the sort of undercurrent to your life experiences. So regardless of whatever you have going on in your life, whether it's about career, relationships, home, whatever it is, you'll likely notice that there's this undercurrent involving the nodes, this kind of push and pull, this oscillation. Do I go in this direction? Do I go in that direction? And so by becoming aware of the nodes, it really helps us make choices with these life experiences and really helps us bring in the free will component to help us bring balance to the area and really align ourselves to our life path. So looking at the South node first, this does represent the past energy. If you believe in past lives, I'm just going to use that analogy to describe this. In a past life, let's say, there was likely a lot of emphasis on, let's call it your passion, whatever your passion was. Now, this can be a lot of different things, not to be taken literally, but some examples. Maybe in a past life, you were an artist. Maybe you were, doing something that was very artistic, creative, as a form of self-expression. Or maybe you're an entertainer. It's another possibility. Entertaining, expressing yourself, having fun, creative energy, same sort of thing. Maybe you were focused on a passion that had to do with your hobby. Maybe it was like a hobby or an interest that was very important to you in your life, kind of centered around. Sometimes with fifth, it can be maybe you were risk-taking in a past life, doing things on that level. And then sometimes with romance, maybe romance was heavily emphasized in the past. So it's not so important as to what it was, as much as it's now in this life, there's likely this oscillation that you're bringing back into balance involving this area. So you may feel now, like throughout your life, that one side of you wants to pursue this, that feels like maybe something's missing with your passion or your self-expression or your creative side. All right, or something like this, something that is a passion of yours, close to your heart. And then another side that may want nothing to do with this, right? May want nothing to do with self-expression, wants to avoid it, or with the creative side, or the passion, or whatever it is, and go all into more things that have to deal with other and community and larger picture things. And so there is this push and pull here with this area. And so the challenge is, but the sort of life path here is about bringing balance back to this area of passion, of self-expression. And the way to do that will be through, one, practicing non-attachment to these things or to these energies. Oftentimes with the South node, it's very unconscious, not very conscious. So it's these kind of unconscious concerns or thinking patterns. But practicing non-attachment to our passion or passions or self-expressive side or creative side, things like this. And so practicing that non-attachment will really help free up that area and really then allow things to flow in the area more, like the self-expression, like the playful, lighthearted, creative energy that wants to express, but we're still, again, kind of operating in karmic cycles with that, as we practice more non-attachment with, it helps free up that energy. Because wherever the South node is, it's, again, kind of an unconscious sort of attachment. And that's preventing the energy from transforming into something else. Some might say we're still holding on to the past life energy associated with it unconsciously because it's comfortable. It's the comfortable thing. You'll even find that you'll notice your comfort zone is to go into that your passions or self-expression in some way. And so good to practice non-attachment to these things to help the energy flow. Now, the other thing is to focus on the North Node. And this is the area that's completely opposite what we've been talking about. And so this has to do with exploring and trying new things with things that are greater than yourself. Things that aren't your passion, but maybe what the world needs, or the community needs, or what you can contribute to, or maybe about things that have to do with science or innovation or technology, or things that are humanitarian, whatever your future ideals are. And not only just for your future ideals for like other, or the group, or the community, or the world, but also your future ideals for yourself, right? What are your own future hopes and wishes in the future? And so learning about this stuff and exploring it, making mistakes with it, learning and making mistakes regarding groups or, online stuff or social stuff or, again, contribution or technology, these kinds of things, whatever your future ideals are, making mistakes and learning through those. Life is supporting you in doing that. Now, it'll feel like there's no real satisfaction with these things. Like you'll get to a point where it's like, if you go all into, or if there's been times in your past where you went all into just, contribution or these future ideals, you'll likely find that was or is unfulfilling. And it's because your roots are in that passion and self-expression, and that's on the you side to it, right? What energizes you. It's just that the paradox is that in order to bring balance back to your passions, or self-expression, it will require this sort of, willingness to contribute and be a part of things larger than yourself and cultivate your future ideals. And so all this you develop about your future ideals, you'll likely find is exactly what your passions need, or that side of yourself that needs. And so, that's the sort of real key here, is that it is about bringing balance back to the passions. It's just that to do that, it will require learning about getting outside of your comfort zone, making mistakes with these more other-oriented things, us-oriented things, future ideal-oriented things, because that is what our passions need. That's really, at the end of the day, what really gives us joy in life and satisfaction is contributing, being a part of something larger than ourselves. Right, or giving back in some way. I mean, that's really, arguably what really gives us the greatest sense of joy in life and passion. So really good to cultivate that opposite side, the 11th house Aquarian side of contribution and cultivation of your future ideals. So that's the path. Now, you'll likely notice that throughout the journey, there is this push and pull. One side of you may want to make a choice that's more geared towards what you find passionate or enjoyable. And then another side pushing you towards those future ideals. And they'll seem like they're very opposite. But sort of becoming aware of both, seeing that they're two sides of the same coin. That if you ever feel stuck with the self-expression or the fun or joy in life, what'll likely kickstart you out of that will be to focus on your future ideals and contribution and group stuff, but not as an end in and of itself, because that's exactly what your passions need, right? And then practicing the non-attachment to your passion, creative energy, things of that nature, things close to your heart, right? This is going to help free up that area and help it flow as well. Because again, that's ultimately what it's about, is finding that balance there. All right, so hopefully this was helpful. If you do have any questions, feel free to comment down in the comment section. Now on the page is a discount for 20% off readings for birth chart reading if you want to dive deep into your specific life path. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all next time in the next video. Take care.